Okay, here we go. I can show them how to do it when I'm in the zone. Before we start, let me puff that indigo. If I thrust, guaranteed you gon' feel it though. My intro for this real shit.
What's going on, everyone? It's your boy, Dead on Dave. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining me once again for your NXT review. Now, things are going to be a little bit different today. Usually, I haven't already watched NXT, and I do segment by segment, match by match breakdown. But I got to be honest, I'm in an unbelievable amount of pain today, and if you've been a fan of the channel for a while, you know why I'm going through all kinds of stuff from time when I was a soldier and I got hurt and blah, 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 blah. So I can't sit in the position that I would need to be able to sit through the entire show and do it with camera. So I decided just to do a regular review. So that's what we're doing right now. I have already watched NXT and I enjoyed it quite immensely, and I'll tell you exactly why. I thought it was a really good show this week. A little bit special show, because if you didn't have a chance and you didn't want to get up and watch the NXT show in Japan, it wasn't an NXT show, excuse me, it was just a WWE special, and the NXT title match was featured highly on that card. If you didn't want to get up for that and you haven't watched it yet, they went ahead and replayed the the NXT title match between Finn Balor and Kevin Owens in its entirety during the middle of this NXT show, which I thought was a nice touch. It was cool. Definitely have no problems with watching that match again. So that was a nice little treat. I was not expecting that. It was probably released and announced. I just didn't hear it. So let's go ahead and get to the review itself. Not going to take a lot of your time. Just going to go through it and tell you guys what I thought. And then get you out of here because I know your time is important. Mine, not so much. Let's get right to it, shall we? Show opens up. Really cool. Sasha comes out to take on Dana Brooke and Emma. She comes out by herself. Does not have a tag team partner. Sasha says, I'll take you bitches on by myself. I don't give a fuck. So she doesn't care. She's got to take them both on. And then, as predicted, Charlotte does come out. Now, usually, when it's overly predictable, I kind of have an issue with. But in this case, because we know it's kind of building, and we know it's building to a bigger thing, I didn't have a problem with it. We know that Sasha and Charlotte are probably coming up to WWE together to help Paige against the Bellas and their new Alicia Fox Bella. So to have them pair together, I thought was kind of cool. And they dispatch Emma and Dana Brooke rather easily. Dana got a lot of moves in. They were trying to let her get some offense on some of the bigger divas, but the problem is she's not progressing the way they probably want her to. It's unfortunate. I really do like Dana Brooke. I think she has a fantastic look to her. Emma didn't really do too much. She had a few moves, but Emma was more of a complimentary piece to try to help Dana get over. The problem is Dana is god-awful. She seems absent-minded in the ring. She doesn't react well to tags. Like, she got tagged at one point, and she stood there for like 3 or 4 seconds, and you could see Emma actually had to tell her to get in the ring. It's worrying. It's like she's not always focused. She's so busy being Dana Brooke that she's not realizing that Dana Brooke's supposed to be a wrestler. And I don't know. I don't know if she's going to work out. She's certainly not going to be the instant star that people thought she was going to be. She's got to figure it out. She needs to put in a lot of work. And she might have to go through a situation very similar to what Eva Marie's had to go through. Get ridiculed by her peers to the point where she almost probably wanted to leave the company. But what Eva Marie has done so far, now granted, we haven't gotten any tangible in-ring evidence of anything yet, but we've seen video after video and heard nothing but good things from legends and people in the know within the NXT community that Eva Marie is working her ass off to get better. And apparently she is a much better product now than she was before. And if she can become a decent in-ring competitor with her looks, watch out, because she's going to dominate WWE Divas division for a long time because she's gorgeous, and if she can go at all, watch out. And Dana Brooke can be very similar, but she might have to go through the same growing pains that Eva is currently going through. We'll see what happens. Only time's going to tell. She doesn't seem to be understanding the intricacies of working a match, and that's disheartening. But anyway, let's get to the more important thing that happened. That's Sasha and Charlotte winning in very convincing fashion, both hitting their submission holds, the bank statement for Charlotte, and the figure 8, because it's twice as good as her daddy's, for Charlotte, and getting both Emma and Dana to tap out. But Dana's the actual one who tapped out for the loss. So after the match, Charlotte, who before the match said, "I'll be your partner, but you're going to owe me one." Well, she did not waste time in calling in the favor. Directly after the match, she calls in and says, "Hey, I want a Divas title match next week. Let's do it one more time." And Sasha gives it to her. Now, it was cool to see Sasha and Charlotte reunite because a lot of people probably were not watching NXT before it got really, really big. Wouldn't really know that this was a reunion because these were the original Mean Girls of NXT. They were BFFs, they were tag team partners, and they were dominant. And then they fell out, but they did their little hand slapping snap thing, similar to Will Smith's and DJ Jazzy Jeff's thing. So that was pretty cool. And we're going to have another amazing match between those two next week on NXT. I mean, that's pretty damn awesome. So I'm pretty happy about that. They follow that up with the NXT title match replay. I don't need to go into that match once again. If you haven't seen Finn Balor and Kevin Owens for the NXT title by now, slap yourself because there's probably no reason for you to be here. But if you haven't, just for whatever reasons, go ahead and find a way to watch it right now. I will not take offense if you leave this show and go watch that match because it is incredible. Great match once again. They showed Kevin Owens' reaction, which is so great. They caught Kevin Owens after the match and somebody with a camera says, "Kevin, can you give us your reaction to losing the NXT title?" And Kevin punches the camera. It's great. It's awesome. It's just so Kevin Owens. I feel so real. I love it. So after that, Gable is backstage saying, "Hey, Jason Jordan doesn't want my help," and blah blah blah. I guess that's all right. I'll always stand here, ready, willing, and Gable. But the Gable was actually stated by Jason Jordan, who has officially come around and decided to let Gable be his tag team partner next week. So we will see Gable and Jordan. And it's so funny to see their interaction with each other because Jason Jordan's like, "I can't believe I'm about to say this." And Gable's like, say it. So these two are quite funny, and it should be good because I think it's going to be a very good tag team. Because Gable, I don't know a lot about in-ring stuff. I can't wait to see him compete. But Jason Jordan's a stud. He's an absolute athletic stud. He's basically a blackjack Swagger, and I don't mean that in the negative sense. Some people might take it as because Swagger really hasn't done much in recent years. But from an athletic and wrestling standpoint, Swagger's one of the best I've ever seen. I mean that, especially for a bigger guy because he is huge. Jordan's much like that in that regard. He's big, but he is very athletic, and he knows how to wrestle. So that tag team should be quite good. And it's obvious they're building this tag team to take the place of somebody else, but we'll get into that in a little bit. Solomon Crow then announces his return from the crow's nest, and then subsequently has a match with Marcus Louis, that weird vampire-looking guy. Crow looks to be in noticeably better shape, and I think that's why he was gone. I think that's why they did the injury angle with Kevin Owens. Crow, when Solomon Crow came in, there was a lot of buzz on him, but I felt he came in out of shape. And I think that pissed off WWE officials because when an independent guy gets called into NXT, there's a Kevin Owens out of shape, and then there's a regular wrestler out of shape. Crow, as good as he's been on the independent circuit, he's not Kevin Owens. He doesn't have the same skill set that Kevin does. He doesn't have the same mouth that Kevin does. So he needs to be in better shape, and he just wasn't. But he looks noticeably better, and I thought that was good. The match was okay. Marcus Louis is weird. He's basically a thinner, more retarded Kane, if that makes sense, with very strange teeth. He's the Christmas creature without the costume, basically, and the crowd just wasn't into it. He works a very plotting match. He uses a lot of holds that are kind of weird. Like he does an abdominal stretch, but he adds it with a claw to the rib cage where you can see him digging into the rib cage, which is pretty damn cool. But unfortunately, to a live audience, I don't think it translates well. It translates great on television, but for a live audience, I don't know. In the 70s, in the 80s, especially in the territory stuff, that would have killed. They would have loved it. But for this, I don't know. It didn't work. Crow gets the victory with his weird submission hold that actually Marcus Lee almost botched, because it's a weird submission hold anyway, and you really got to have the guy sell it to make it look good. Because it's a hybrid lion tamer with a leg bar, a leg wrench over his neck, and it's a high angle crab, but it's weird. But it looks like it would be really easy to escape. So you got to have the guy really sell it, and unfortunately Louis didn't. But Crow is back, and hopefully he can start putting it together and become that guy that a lot of people think he should be. We'll see. Finally, we got Enzo Amore and Big Cass versus the Vaudevillains for the #1 contenders slot for the NXT Tag Team Championship. This was a really, really good match. I was very excited for it. I kind of felt like the Vaudevillains were going to win, and they subsequently do, and that was great. Good finish to the match. Neither one really working as a heel. The Vaudevillains are kind of going to a face mode, which was my tip-off that they were going to win this because they wanted a new face to take on the heel tag team of Blake and Murphy. Now, I don't know what this means for Cass and Enzo. This could be essentially writing them out of the tag title picture could mean they're close to a promotion. That's very possible. Now, they've never been NXT champions, but because their appeal is probably 70-30 as far as gimmick and talking ability, and the other 30% is Cass in the ring because he's incredible, and Enzo's selling ability, which he sells like a son of a bitch. He really does. They don't need. I don't think for them being tag team champions was super important in NXT. Now it's possible that they get involved in this situation and we have a triple threat at the next NXT takeover for the titles. Now that's very possible. In fact, likely, but it would not shock me if Enzo and Cass are getting called up because they looked really dejected after. I don't want to see a breakup. That would be a big mistake. They need to get called up and insert some new life into the WWE's tag team division, which I think they will do. I really do believe that. So that's the show. That was it. Once again, my favorite hour of wrestling every single week. I don't think anybody produces a better hour of wrestling than NXT does week in and week out. It really is solid, and it's a lot of fun to watch. And getting the added little extra replay of the NXT title match between Balor and Owens was really special, and it was a lot of fun, and I enjoyed. Did not mind watching that match again. So I had a good time with NXT this week. I give it an 8.5. I thought it was a great show, maybe even as high as a 9. I thought it was a fantastic show. But what did you guys think? Go ahead and tweet me your ratings for NXT this week. Go ahead and tweet it to me at DeadOnDaveV, or put it right in the comment section below. And who's ever got the best comment this week, I'll highlight it on Dead on Dave Live on Sunday, 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you check that out as well. Speaking of checking things out, make sure you check out the new show I'm doing with Jesse J right here on this channel. Also, you can find it on the Joe Cronin Show channel when he decides to put it up. It's Running the Ropes with Dave and Jesse, and what we do is we go through the greatest moments in wrestling history, and we kind of give them a second look and break them down. We've done 2 episodes. One was the Montreal Screwjob, and last night we did Hell in a Cell Undertaker, and Mankind. So and it was a lot of fun. Go check that out as well. Really cool if you haven't seen it yet. Make sure you also check out Joe Cronin Show if you have not watched it. Hit him with a subscription. He's got 15,000, just about. 15,000 subs, can't be wrong. And also, if you're in need of a hockey fix, if hockey season's over and you just need something to get you through, well, go check out Shot from the Point. My good buddy Tommy C over at Shot from the Point does the best hockey podcast you are going to find on YouTube. I'm there quite often, and just as I am on Joe Cronin Show. Not the only reason why I'm plugging them so hard, but you know what? The more Dave, the better. And so go make sure you check them out as well. Also, if you want to support this show, you can do it in a number of ways. You can create memes that I will put into my meme slideshow that you see on the screen. You can send them to me on Twitter at DeadOnDaveV, or email it to me at DeadOnDaveProductions on yahoo.com, at yahoo.com. You can go ahead and hit me there, and I will put your meme, if it's funny, into the little meme slideshow that you see on my shows. So you can do that, or you can support it in a monetary fashion, and that's by going over to deadondaveproductions.spreadshirt.com. Yes, spreadshirt.com. I have my own merchandise. I have the copious shirt, the copious cup. Yes, you can drink coffee from my face. How cool is that? You can do all of those things. There's a lot of other really good designs, all made by the great Isaac Rojas, who is a fantastic graphic designer. So make sure you check all that out and hit me up, support the show, okay? Really appreciate you guys checking out the show today, checking out the channel. If you like it, go ahead, throw me with a like and throw a sub my way as well. Other than that, that's all I got. Thank you for joining me. And as always, remember, if you don't have talent, have talented friends. We'll see you next time. Peace.